Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Two Perfect Podcasts. My name is Yzel.
My name is Renz.
And we're not
Perfect! Two Perfect Podcast is dedicated to three things.
First, we are dedicated to sharing super personal stories and owning our imperfection.
Second, we want to create a safe space where we could be our most authentic selves.
And third, we want to build a community for people like us who are fed up with the pressure of trying to be perfect. And before we get started on this episode, make sure you like, subscribe, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, Two Perfect Podcasts. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, same name. And if you want to send us an email, it's twoperfectpodcasts@gmail.com. And turn on your notifications so you can catch our new episodes every Tuesday. So, yep, today's episode is super special, of course.
Like always.
Because we're going to be talking about our crushes. Renz,
I'm not ready.
why would you like to talk about this topic?
I just love talking about feelings, like things that make me feel giddy. And, that kilig, and if you guys don't know what that means, it's that giddy butterfly feeling in your stomach. A lot of Filipinos that I know are really into those types of like stories that just makes them feel all bubbly and stuff. So that's why I want to talk about it.
I have to warn listeners, I'm going to be like, because that's what happens. Or maybe I'll just try and stop, but if I do, if I can, it is really because that kilig, like that giddy feeling, it makes me squeal.
Yeah, it's too much sometimes. You just gotta come out.
Wait, what were you saying? Why do you want to talk about this topic?
I don't know. It just feels good.
It does feel good. And you know what? I think it's healthy to talk about your crushes. I carried a lot of guilt and shame in the past for my crushes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk about that in this episode. But, it's just part of life. Like, attraction is a real thing. And there's something also scientific about it, which, you can't really control. So, own your sense of self. Be authentic. Yes. That is what our channel, our podcast is about. So that's why we want to talk about it. Also, I'm very boy crazy. I've always been very boy crazy. How about you?
I feel like it's pretty mild. I feel like it was, but also not at the same time.
Like in high school?
It's like sprinkled. Yeah, I feel like I had to like tame it down.
Oh no, darling.
But that's just because, again, I felt like it was wrong. There was like a little bit of shame in it almost. And that's also another reason why I want to talk about it, because there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. It's natural.
I love those cute little movies and stuff where they're so like flipped, where she was very like vocal about her feelings for the guy, and I just thought that was so cute. I would never have the guts.
Yeah.
I would never have the guts.
Yeah, especially because when I was young, I was super shy. I was like, I'm going to take these feelings to the grave.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. I used to think that to myself, like, I'm going to take these feelings to the grave. No one's ever going to talk about it. So tell me about your first crush. When did you start experiencing feelings? Because I feel like typically girls start to develop
earlier
their feelings for who they like, and then boys tend to develop later. That's on a general sense. Generalizing,
but from like just also from the stories I've heard, because I feel like a lot of female friends that I have also shared it when they're super young. And then guys are just like, I was just like playing games all day long with my best friends. So again, that's just from my experience and the stories I've heard. But for me, I was really young. I think I was probably like 4 or 5-ish. I can't really like remember the specific age, but I was probably around that age when I first had the feelings for another person.
4 or 5?
Probably.
That's young.
Yo.
Me too. But like, it's like kids. I actually watched a video, I think it was on Jubilee.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of, I don't know, 5th graders, 4th graders. They were kids, elementary school grade. And they talked about, like, if it's okay to have a crush on someone. Ooh. And all the boys were like, most of the boys were like, no. I think it was one boy who was like, whatever, it is what it is. Yeah. And one girl was like, yeah, like, you can't help your feelings. Like, sometimes you just like someone. It happens. And then one of the guys were like, well, you can like them as a friend, but not like you shouldn't want to marry someone. Like, saying it in such extremes. It's just like, well, it's not about being married. You just like them. And he's like, as a friend.
Yeah. How old are these kids?
They're like 5th grade, 4th grade. So definitely older than 5.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like it was around that age because we met pretty young.
Your first
crush. Yeah, because my mom worked at where he lived. Yeah. So I saw him pretty often and I was just like, oh my God, this boy is perfection.
Describe him. Tell us his personality. Although it's weird because it's like you're literally like looking at it at the lens of like a 4 or 5-year-old. Yeah. Like, what do you remember?
Honestly, I barely know him because I was one of those secret pressure person. Mm-hmm. I was just like, I was afraid to interact with him. But first of all, like, I've talked about this before in our previous episodes where I just had like crippling like anxiety and shyness when I was young. So that went double for like the opposite sex, especially the ones that I had like feelings for. So in reality, this feelings was very superficial. It's just, I don't really know him as a person. It's just, what I just remembered is that he was just so attractive to me, and that partly because he was kind of like the lightest guy I knew, because like, there's like colorism in like the Philippines. So to me, he was just like attractive in my eyes at the time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And what did you do with those feelings?
I shoved it down and never talked about it ever again, except my mom did know, because like my mom was like my best friend at the time. I think I told her, or she probably noticed that I was like extra shy. Yeah. So she was just like,
you pick up on it as an adult. Yeah.
Because your daughter is just being weird. Yeah. Like, I was literally hiding like under her desk and just like, she's like, sige na, which is like, go, like, go interact, go like talk to him and play with the other kids. And I'm just like, no. So she knew, and when it comes to like Filipinos, when they know like the things that make you feel cringe and awkward, they love to like poke at it even more. So honestly, that's what I remember the most about like my first crush than my actual first crush, because again, I don't know him.
And that maybe is where the shame and guilt can come from, is because just in my experience as well, similar to you, we get picked on for showing any sign of like anything. Yeah, any sign of, I don't even know if it's like a weakness per se, but just like any kind of quirk,
any reaction, any like sort of feelings that you're exhibiting.
They're gonna find a way to roast you, and it's like, I don't know. Let me just be this blank.
That way there's no ammo.
Exactly. You don't want to feed them ammunition to keep fucking roasting you. So, wow. Maybe that's what it is, because I also felt that shame and that guilt. And so when I started having crushes on people, I didn't want to tell anyone. Although my first crushes were like my brother's friends. So maybe that also has to do with why I didn't want to say anything. Because it's like, they're my brother's friends. Yeah, they're gonna, like, my brother's not gonna like it, or
they're just gonna have a stronger opinion about it.
Yeah, because it's like, these are my friends. They were his 2 best friends. They were like, I don't know, they were just so funny, and that's really it. Like, that's really it.
That's always so attractive.
Yeah, like humor is always attractive. Yeah. If you're not funny, it's kind of like,
Sorry. I mean, for me, I'm sure there's other girls out there.
I also laugh at everything. So it's like, really, you can't make me laugh? Like, I laugh at everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The standards are here.
Pretty low in terms of humor. Yeah. But obviously, the better the humor, then it's like,
yeah,
that's even more attractive. Yeah. Okay, so humor is important to you. What else? If you were to kind of look at your timeline of crushes and who you had a thing for, like, what are some qualities?
Intelligence. They have to exhibit like some sort of like interest in just. It doesn't even have to be like academia. There's just has something to do about like I can tell that they can think. You know, like they are not just blank walking around. So that was always like super attractive to me. I don't know why.
I'm only laughing because of what you say about Jackie. What's up, Jackie? If you're listening, honestly, shout out to you.
It's like it's weird because with Jackie, he is blank. And I'm just kidding. We say he's blank because we had this conversation with Jackie about how we process our thoughts. Yzel and I say like, you know, we kind of like pre-plan things. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of like
we talk to ourselves.
Yes, there's a lot of language in our head where Jackie's just like, I don't do that. Like he doesn't make up like he doesn't picture things. Just the thought just comes to him and it's at the moment. So he is blank. But I did not know that until 10 years into our relationship because he's a smart dude. Yeah. So that like really covered it up.
That's true. Yeah. He got away with it.
Yeah.
Flew under the radar. Yeah. Intelligence, you know, it's funny because I remember I had a crush on this guy in 2nd grade. And I was super attracted to him because he was definitely the smartest boy in class. And I just remember feeling like intellectually inadequate. I always thought like if I ever do end up with someone, I need to end up with someone smart because I'm not smart. Like I remember thinking that to myself.
Oh my god.
Yeah, seriously. I remember sitting in my 2nd grade class and looking at him like, oh my god, I'm in love with him. And it was really that. That was really the only reason why I had a crush on him. Yeah.
I don't know if... Well, growing up, I didn't think I was smart. So, maybe same. There's just something that's, like, attractive about it because maybe I didn't see it in me or something. But I never... Or at least I don't remember thinking those specific thoughts. Like, oh, I need to be with someone smart because of this.
I remember. And I think it was because we were learning a lesson and that I just did not understand. I remember being in class, like, feeling like everybody was understanding. And he kind of sat not super close to me, but close enough where I could see that he was really understanding the information. Yeah. And he always just got the highest scores and stuff like that. So I knew he was smart. And also he's very kind.
Those are the best!
Very smart, very kind, very gentle. But also...
He's Gilbert.
But also, like, very into sports as well.
Yeah, so very well-rounded.
Very well-rounded. Yeah. So he performed well in every aspect of whatever the fuck we were doing in 2nd grade. Yeah. He always performed well. And so that, to me, was super cute as a 2nd grader. And I was like, oh my god, I totally like him. But anyways, I think around... Did you have multiple crushes at the same time? Because I know your first crush, that was it. You only had that one crush. Because you were 5. So. Because
as a 5-year-old.
Yeah. But you know, my crushes on my brother's friends, I was like 5. Yeah.
Actually, I didn't have multiple crushes until like middle school. I think I had probably, like if I thought back, it probably had to do with like my Catholic upbringing, you know, because they always like focus on monogamy and I don't know. I just also wasn't surrounded by like a lot of guys when I was like that when I was in the Philippines, because I went to an all girls school, and then all my cousins were girls. Same. We all had girlfriends, so it's like really the boys I knew were very limited, and they were just not like attractive to me. So I just only had that one crush, and then I had another one crush when I got in 5th grade, when I started going here in the States. And then when middle school came, that's when like the thought of having there was just more guys. So it was just like, that's when I had that, wow, this guy and that guy and that
it's guy. Like, you know, you telling that story actually just made me realize I had a crush on someone in 1st grade. Okay, so the two, my brother's two, that's two crushes at the same fucking time. Yeah. And then in 1st grade, I had a crush on this boy. No, it can't be 1st grade, because I also went to an all-girls school. Yeah. But you don't split off until like 1st grade. Yeah. And then everything before that is co-ed. Yeah. And the classes are very small. And I remember it was like nap time. So it must have been kindergarten. And we took a nap on the desk. Like, we just kind of like put our heads down on the desk. Yeah. And I remember he was sitting next to me, and we were just looking at each other. And I don't know what it was, but we were both laughing. Like, we were both like giggling with each other. I had no clue what we were giggling about. Like, I have no idea. I was just giggling because he was giggling. Yeah. And I think maybe it was that thing like, oh, it's funny because we're laughing. Yeah. That there's not...
the energy.
It's the energy. It's not necessarily that anything is funny, actually, but this moment is funny together. Yeah.
That's so cute and innocent.
I know! And then nap time ended, and I was like, fuck.
Oh,
I know!
Your teacher was probably like...
ruined it! Yeah. Yeah, what's happening? Why are you giggling? Are you guys flirting? You're in kindergarten.
But that happens because, like, Anissa tells me about Maya. Anissa is her friend, and Maya is her daughter. And she is also, like...
she's 3. Yeah.
Yeah. And she's turning 3. Like, mini boyfriends. Like, guys who are, like... let me walk you out. Let me do this for you. And it's just the cutest thing.
So adorable. Yeah. That's pre-K, right? Because 3 pre-K, 4 kindergarten, 5 1st grade.
Yeah, damn, that's young.
Or maybe a little bit. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Somebody correct me. And another thing about every other year, like, I think every year I had a new crush. Did you have that thing too? Well, you stuck to you're very monogamous. I know,
I was a monogamous crusher. I think it just adds on. Like, for that, when I was like young. You don't lose your
feelings for the old crush. You just
find other people to crush on. Yeah, so I think when 5th grade started, I had a crush on like 3 different dudes that was like in the class, and I had like feelings for them, like back and forth here and there. Yeah. And then like as I got to like 7th grade, like you know, you meet new people, and it's just like, oh my god, this guy is cute.
God, he's so cute.
So then you just like, okay, I'm gonna put him in my little pocket of crushes.
I know. Did you ever write your crushes' names on like notebooks and stuff like that? Were you that girl? Or journals or whatever, diary?
I feel like I did, but I also felt really silly like doing it. I felt like it was one of those things that I did just because I saw it so often in like movies and stuff like that, but it never felt like natural. And I was just like, why would you do this? It's like, the only reason you would do this is so you could get caught, because like, you know, again, like, you know, I didn't want to give my parents like ammo or anyone for that matter to know about my feelings, because it's like, I feel like
they're gonna make fun of you.
Yeah, like I feel like if that information like got out, and they're gonna tell your crush, and then they were like, ew, why would she like me? Like, that's always how I thought they would react. So I just like, you know, I wrote it down, and I'm like, this is silly, and I would just like throw it away and not have evidence.
Man, I used to write their names. I didn't think like that. I just thought, oh, if I hide my journal well enough, then I'll be good. Until one day my sister told me that our mom read her journal and she was like crying, and I was like,
your mom?
Yeah, my mom read my sister's journal.
So who's crying? Your mom or your sister?
My sister.
Okay, gotcha.
She's crying to me about how our mom read her journal, and I was like, my journal's not safe. Because I have all the crushes and stuff. Actually, also, this is so funny. Let me tell you guys, I was boy crazy. Like, boy crazy. I believe I was definitely in elementary school. I met my older cousin. He is maybe 3, 4 years older than me.
Yeah.
I met one of his friends. His friend was at the house, and I fell in love with this guy. I swear I don't remember what he looks like anymore.
It's just, you just remember that moment.
Yeah, but I believe I was like maybe 9 years old or so.
Yeah.
And totally inappropriate, right?
Yeah.
He's already a teenager at that point. But I remember just being like in love. I made his name my password. My password, like on the computer. You know how you can set like your everybody had it was like a laptop.
The PC.
It was a desktop, and so you had your own like login for your own
space. Like your own side of the laptop. Yeah,
desktop. Yes, not laptop. We didn't have those yet, but yes, basically. And I set him as my password, and I only met him once. That's how crazy I was. I think
I remember
the most because he was so unattainable.
Yeah.
That I was like,
no one's gonna ever know this.
I know. Oh yeah, that's true. No one's ever gonna guess it because literally, like,
that also. It wasn't like password, but like Build-A-Bear became like really big when it first came out, right? So I built a bear and named it after my crush. I just thought it's like, oh my god, he's so cute. School? Yeah, he's so cute. Blah 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 blah. His name is so cute.
Yeah,
I wanted to name this bear that's so cute. His name. And then I just kept that bear there.
My first roommate in college, she told me that her dad named their dog after his first girlfriend. It's like a known thing. Like the family knows, like the dog's name is Stephanie.
Yeah.
Stephanie! Fucking Stephanie!
That's so funny.
I know, yeah. She was a hoot. Wow.
I know.
Feelings.
I needed like a second.
I need a little breather.
They're like, you guys didn't even say anything.
I know.
You don't understand. The feelings, they just come back. I'm like recalling, and then I put myself back in those moments, and it's just like, wow.
It really does put you back talking about like what that was like. When did you start to feel like it was okay to talk about your crush or tell people about your crush? Yeah, when did you feel it was okay? Okay, well, actually, you said that you kept your crushes to yourself.
Yeah.
Did you, but your mom knew.
Yeah,
did you ever tell like your best friends or your cousins or like friends or somebody?
For my first crush, I don't think I told any of my friends because all my friends were in school and they just would not know. I think, like most of my
pointless.
Yeah, it was pointless, and most of my friendship was based on like stuff like anime or like drawing and stuff like that. So it's like very focused on that. And then even if we're gonna like, because I also had a friend that we daydreamed. Like, we made up situation and we would tell it to each other and we would draw it out and stuff like that.
How come we never did that?
I know, right?
Yeah.
After the saving. But it was like super fun. We were just literally like coming up with like stories
basically. Yeah.
But it was never based on like real people. So I don't think I ever really told anyone. It's just either my family knew because my family knew him. And by family, I just mean my mom and a selected like aunt, because I'm sure she told my aunt. I'm sure some of my cousins knew, but most of my cousins were also older, so they didn't really care. I guess I got comfortable telling my crushes, other people about my crush in middle school, because that's when I kind of had like girlfriends. So then we would talk about like, oh, who do you like, and stuff like that. So eventually I did like, oh, I do. I think I had multiple crushes, right? So there was only a couple that I was okay having known. Like, it's okay because I know like they go to a different school, so it doesn't matter. Like, it's gonna be different. But the ones I had crush on in school, like I never told anyone.
I played that game too, you know that? Like, I played that game so hard. Like, I would tell people about crushes that I knew they would never meet, or I felt like there was such a small likelihood of them meeting, but like the actual crushes I had within either like the same friend group or just within this, vicinity of one another, I would just keep that.
Yeah. So, I don't know why that was, but maybe because it's just like, it's okay, because then I wouldn't be put in that situation where they go like, hey, Renz has a crush. Because I feel like that happened a lot to people, every time like you're close. So one of your friends will always like, oh, she has a crush on you.
Betrayal.
Right? And I'm just
betrayal.
Like, I want to die.
Dude, oh my gosh. Even though, yes, I did say that I was super boy crazy, nobody knew. I never told anybody about my crushes because I was fearful of it getting out. I just didn't want my crush to know that I had a crush on them. And it did happen to me once where my best friend went up to the boy that I had a crush on, and she was like, Yzel has a crush on you. And I was like, no, I don't. I denied it. Deny. And she's like, yeah, she told me yesterday. And I was like, no, she's a liar. Yeah, oh my gosh. And so it's like that crazy situation. I remember it was like in 4th grade.
Yeah.
And it scarred me for life.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably traumatized you to the point where it's like, you're never going to tell us so.
I know. Same. And it's so funny because middle school, there was a lot of that thing where it's like, oh, tell your friend I like them.
I know.
Right? It was a lot of like, oh, your friend's cute, like, tell him. And I was just like, wow, like, that's so bold. I don't think I have the guts.
I do not.
Yeah, I don't have the guts.
I'm like trying to remember a moment where I've told, when I was younger, where I actually told someone, like that person, like, hey, I like you, or like told like a friend, like, hey, tell your friend that like I like them, or something like that.
You have that?
I don't know. I can't remember because I don't remember getting ballsy until like
later
high school. Yeah. Where I was just like, you know what? Just gonna shoot my shot. Pew, 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 pew.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so dude, you said you had like 3 crushes by 5th grade?
Yeah.
Man, I had so many crushes by that time. And then like middle school, was it like 3 or?
Yeah.
I had
like probably like at the end of middle school, because like again they stacked up, and none of them kind of like felt like, no one did anything that made me want to be like, I don't like you anymore, because like sometimes that happens. But most of them were just still like adorable, like they're still doing their thing. So I think by the end of it I had a crush with like 5 or 6 guys.
Girl.
I know.
By the time 6th grade hit, it's a bigger school, older boys, new boys, because in elementary school, it's all like the same people.
Yeah, same class all day long.
Although you get like a new kid every once in a while. But, it's a bigger pool in middle school. So my crushes grew exponentially. And I only talked about crushes that were older. Yeah. Because I felt like there was no way that I had a chance with them. Yeah. Because they're in 8th grade, I'm a 6th grader. Yeah. They're in 7th grade. Like, there's Like, there's no point. So those were the crushes that I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
But anybody in my grade that I had a crush on, I was taking that shit to the grave. I was like, there's no way anyone's gonna hear about my crushes on anyone about this grade. In this grade.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember me and my best friend in 6th grade, we used to like swoon over our crushes. And we would talk about like, oh my god, they're so hot. Like those conversations.
6th graders.
Dude. But it was so fun. It was so fun swooning over the boys and talking about how hot they looked. And, you know, it's like, there's not really much to talk about because we wore uniform. So it's like, it's not like they're going to be in a new outfit.
That's what I was thinking. They're not saying we also just wore uniform. But it's how they like tweaked it a little bit. It's the type of khakis that they're fucking wearing. The shoes.
Did you see his dickies today? Oh. Those dickies were looking crisp.
Did you see his sweater? The sweater that he had on. So hot.
I think he got new shoes, girl. Ooh, I love it.
I was like, dude, I think he has a new gel on because he smells
so good. Dude, you know what? Oh my gosh. It's funny because my 6th grade best friend that I used to love talking about boys with, she had a crush on my 4th grade crush. The one that like my best friend in elementary school told him like, oh, she has a crush on you.
Oh.
She had like, we went to the same middle school and she developed a crush on him. And I was like, that's great, girl. I love that. You should totally pursue it. Deep down, I was dying. I was like, no.
I know, those are like the worst. Or it's like, I mean, obviously it's not like there's anything between you and the crush.
Yeah.
So it's
in my mind there was.
I know. So it's like for you, it's like you can rationalize that, or it's like, oh, it's not like we're going out, but like, he mind though.
I know, in my head, oh my gosh, I was dying. And then it got to the point where she developed a little bit of courage to actually try and pursue it, but he was not into her.
Aww.
So I was like,
yes,
thank God. I know, but I had to be the shoulder to cry on, you know?
Of course.
Like, oh, it's okay, like, you know, it's fine. Yeah. We have all these other crushes. But yeah, definitely.
That is so interesting. I feel like it's been reoccurring for me where I never really have developed a crush on someone that my friend had a crush on.
Ooh.
Like, it's always been, or like, you know, I've never dated anyone. It's never happened that way.
That overlap. You know what? I know I just said that, but same, not in the way of like I actually wanted to pursue something real. Like, I could think someone's cute and be like, oh yeah, they're cute. But if my friend outwardly was like, oh, I like them, then I'd just give it up.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Unless we all had same secret crush on people, but no one ever really pursued it. Because like, you know how I said I've never said anything to some of my friends about those crushes. Yeah. Maybe they also felt similarly because like, again, like we're probably thinking the same, like, oh, we're all in the class, I'm not gonna say anything. So, and no one pursued anyone. But that's interesting.
You know what, that could have possibly been the case.
Yeah.
After middle school, it did not die down. I was gonna say, it didn't die down. It
became different.
It became different because like middle school, it was still more of this dreamy vibe. Like, it's just a dream. Like, in my mind, I didn't want to actually pursue anything. Here's the thing. I did have boyfriends in middle school. Outside of my school. Yeah. And it was always something I thought of that I would hate to be in the same school as my significant other because I think I was traumatized in elementary school. So like in elementary school, there were couples. I think there were like 3 couples. You know those like
they get together
early, right? Like 4th grade, 5th grade.
Yeah.
Relationships, like those cute puppy love relationships started to happen for people. And I remember there was this one time everybody was like, you guys should kiss, and like everybody was like cheering them on.
because it's like a thing.
It's like we I don't know. And I remember I wasn't screaming anything. I was just like watching to see what they were actually gonna do, and they ended up kissing.
The pressure.
Because of the pressure, and I just felt like that's horrible. Like I would hate for people to be yelling at me to do something so intimate. And it's supposed to be like a cute moment. And that just ruined it. So I think ever since then, seeing that, and it happened like multiple times. And I just was like, there's no way I want a relationship with someone in the same school. That's just a little too much.
So everyone gets like a say.
Everyone's like looking at your everyone feels like they have a right to say something about your relationship because they know each person individually, and then they know them like as a couple. And I just think that's weird. Or I
thought it was also weird because it was just, I think it's just one of those things where, you know how people think like if they have a friend, I feel like some people would think like, oh, I don't know if I should date my friend because what if it's awkward later on? I think I had the same thought with like my classmates where it's like, first of all, I don't think we were going to go out, but if we went out and then we don't work out and we're all in the same class all the time, and it's just like, I don't know, I don't like that feeling. I don't want to put myself in that situation. So I'm good with this.
So mature, thinking ahead, you know? But no, definitely. I think that was a big fear for me too. Like, ew, we're going to be in the same class, or we're going to be in the same school. We're going to have to see each other after we break up. And I think I learned by watching other people and how they maneuvered their relationship. And that's why I thought I think I developed this idea very early on that I'm just not a relationship girl. Because that idea started to blossom like middle school. People really, because you know your feelings are so strong, your hormones are going crazy, so they just feel so big and so permanent, like the feelings that you're feeling during that time. And I know so many people that were just so vocal about getting in relationships, and that was also the time where people were getting into those like fake relationships. Like I had friends that got in relationships that they weren't really into the person, but they got in the relationship anyway. I think more so for the experience, and I think you talked about that.
So a couple of my first relationships, I didn't really have like
real feelings
for them. It was just like someone expressed their feelings for me. And I was just like, you know, they're not bad people. So I was just like, okay, let's see. Let's give this a shot. Because again, I am also like really into romance. I was really into just like the thought of having someone. So I was just like, okay, let's give this a shot. Let's try it out and see where it goes. Maybe not. And then eventually, like, you know, it doesn't work out because I never really developed any feelings moving forward. So it just didn't feel like anything.
If you are listening to this, if you haven't seen Pen 15, they were just nominated for 3 Emmys. Phenomenal show.
Love it.
Phenomenal cast, phenomenal writing. I am obsessed with the show, and I can't wait for the next season. There is this depiction of one of the main characters getting into like a fake relationship, Anna, and she gets into this relationship where he pursues her because he likes her, but she's also in love with like whatever the other kid's name is. And remember?
I don't know his name, but I just remember.
Is it Alex?
I just remember how he like gets introduced, just like this,
just
like
slow mo. It's an sync. Yeah. But I just did not believe in that. And I think also it's because I had so many crushes on people.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how can I get into a relationship? I have so many crushes on so many
I don't want to
people.
give them up.
I have like 50 crushes going on.
Yeah.
Like, how can I give up my crushes? And it was really like an ethical dilemma in my mind of like, is it right to have so many crushes and be in a relationship? And to me, I think in the beginning I was like, no, but as long as you're not in a relationship, then it should be okay. And now it's just like, I don't really care. I think it's fine. Like, crushes happen. Like, sure. Regardless if you're in a at least for me personally, regardless if you're in a relationship or not, like, crushes can come about, and that's fine. But in high school, the crushes...
A different game.
Huh?
It was a different
game. You know what, too? I think it was my 7th, 8th grade relationship that was with an older person, and I've always had a crush on him. I had always, because we lived in the same neighborhood. Yeah. So I knew of him for a very long time. He was actually my brother's friend.
What's your type?
My brother's friends. And so I couldn't believe that I was in a relationship with him because I'd known him for so long. Yeah. Like, even as a kid, I knew who he was and had a crush on him even then. And then I ended up, like, years down the line, and we ended up being in a relationship. And after that, I was like, these dreams, like these... You can manifest them. You can manifest your dreams and turn them into reality. Yeah. So high school time, it really felt like, well, you got to be careful what you really manifest, because you can actually manifest whatever you want. Yeah. Whereas, like, 6th grade me thought, like, oh... Unattainable, yeah. They never would go for me because I'm just this meek little 6th grader. Yeah. Like, they wouldn't even look my way. Yeah. But yeah, high school was like, game on, babe.
Yeah, that's also how I felt. I don't know, it's because of, like, the energy we all, like, gave each other, you know? Like,
that's true. We hyped each other the
TV vibes and stuff. Yeah. So to me, it was just like, because I also thought similarly, where, first of all, I felt undesirable. And even though I also felt that way in high school, a part of me was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna try, because I'm just gonna form a thicker skin. If they don't like me, that's fine. I can respect that. But I found out that if you just let your feelings, not even like let your feelings be known, but if you, like, pursue something a little bit,
it can be reciprocated.
Yeah, like usually people will match your energy. So that's just what happened for me in high school.
That's true. Yeah, and you can see it even in, like, the fake relationships, because really it happens because one of the people in that relationship truly felt something for the other person, and the other person just kind of went along with it because the one who did have the feelings was persistent or put in the effort. But yeah, man, high school crushes were a different thing. I did still keep secret crushes.
Of course.
I still felt like, especially because our high school was so small.
It's so small. Yeah.
I was like, there's no way I'm saying any of these crushes out loud. Yeah. And also, like, there's no way I could be in a relationship with any of these people because our high school is so small. So it's like, I can't. Like,
I'm, like, trying to think. I don't know if I had any secret crushes on anyone in high school, because I let it be known.
Really? You only had a crush on 2 people?
In our high school?
Girl.
Yeah, I think so.
No, that's not true. No. I think it clicked. Yeah, I know. The more we thought about
it, there's some where it's just like, I think it's just for me, the intensity was different. So I always forget the ones where it's just like the fleeting moments where it's just like,
I just remembered some of the people you had a crush on that you didn't actually pursue or like you didn't
I know. I was gonna say
anything.
Wonder if we thought the same people. At the same
think
time.
we did. We shared a class with individuals. Yep.
Yeah, that happens when you have school. You share classes with people.
No. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
There were, because they were upperclassmen.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes you don't have classes with upperclassmen.
Yeah, I just forget because the moments that you shared with the upperclassmen are so short.
Yeah.
So the ones that I remember the most are the ones that are like that usually only a year older than us.
Yeah.
But other than that, I was just like, oh wow,
I
haven't thought about you in so long.
That would be a fun journal exercise.
Yeah.
To like write about your past crushes.
Your secret
crushes.
Secret the one that you are still holding on to and still taking to the grave.
Yeah, the one that you haven't expressed. Although I feel like you told me most, if not all of your crushes. Yeah. It was just a secret to them.
Yeah. And most people. I mean, like, at that point, I think we developed, like, a really close friendship where I felt like I can tell you things and I don't have to feel like, oh, you're gonna backstab me by telling, Renz has a crush on you, right? Like, at that point, we've matured. Like, we're not kids anymore. We stopped doing that. It even felt like, oh, if you really want it to happen, we could make it happen, So it's like, it became that game. So it's
how many times did we have that fucking conversation, though? Honestly, comment below. Did you have the same type of conversation with your friends where you're like, you want him? We can make it happen, girl. Like, we could do it. Yeah.
Here's the game plan. Step by step.
Let's set it up. Yeah, I know.
Like, what can we do as a domino effect to make this
make it happen? Because it was always that planning ahead. We were playing chess. Is what it was. We were playing chess to achieve the goal, the boy. But I think that was mostly between us. Yeah. We didn't really, which is so wrong because we are treating men like objects.
I know.
Collecting them for our own pleasure like toys. And you shouldn't do that to people. We're older now. We know better. Mm-hmm. But high school version of us,
they just didn't care.
Hormones, we were just horny teenagers. Like, that's what it is. Like, that's what it is. Point blank, period. Yeah.
Facts. It's just too much. There's like nothing going on in my brain. Like, there was just no capacity where I can humanize these people. So it was just more like, I just gotta get done what I need to get done. I have a list of things I need to do. Yeah. I have AP classes and extracurriculums. Yeah. You just saw me.
Yeah. I do like feeling the difference between middle school and high school crushes. Mm-hmm. It just kind of talking about it right now. Right? It feels, you kind of really see how different it is. I advise, if you're listening, to chat with your best friend about all your previous crushes because there is such a fun feeling you experience. I wonder if that's a thing with everybody, though, or is it just us? Is it because we're like hopeless romantic, or do people? I don't know. Comment below. Email us. twoperfectpodcasts@gmail.com. Like,
do you guys also enjoy looking back? Yeah. Do you guys love to watch like rom-coms, which I feel like is a very common female thing, very common Filipino thing. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for me to say because that's just the information I've gathered from me and the people near me.
Yeah. Post high school. Ooh. Girl.
Post high school. Is it different?
It's different again. Yes, college. Yep. Yeah, we're going there. There was a time that I felt like in college I really took ownership of it. I think in high school I did take some ownership in that aspect of my life, but I saw it more as a game.
Yes. Because again, we were just horny little kids who didn't think about it, but like that ish.
Yeah.
But in college, you become a human. it's how I can simply like put it.
Yeah.
And you have like conversations with these people, and all of a sudden it's like, what?
I don't know.
Anyway.
It's there's so many layers to it because I did have crushes on people in high school that were very much real and based more so on loving who they were as a person.
Yeah.
And then I also had crushes on people where it was just...
It's levels.
It's just very shallow. Like, he's just fine as hell.
Yeah.
And that is enough for me to have a crush on this person.
Yeah. And I think that's usually the case too, though. There's always going to be that range of crushes where it's like, oh, this crush falls upon like the appearance. It's like it's just like purely
you categorize
aesthetics. Yeah.
You put them on an Excel spreadsheet, and you put in column A, column B, column C, and you split them up into these different categories of, varying levels of shallowness.
Yes.
So, and in college, no, I mean, honestly, I still it was still the same, but there was this level of outspokenness that I felt. I felt more outspoken in it, whereas in high school, I was only outspoken in very specific moments. Yes. Like, I can only tell this person, but I'm not going to tell anybody, or I'm not going to tell, any other crushes. I'm not going to tell them my feelings for them. I mean, let's be honest. I didn't say any feelings, like
through and through.
I was not honest about my feelings. I was not being authentically myself in that aspect, where I could tell my crush, like, I have a crush on you, or I like you. And in college, I felt more comfortable in being able to say those words, like, I like you. And it wasn't scary. That's what it was. In high school, there was a sense of fear that I felt. And I don't know if maybe it's because I'm away from my family. Because I went to college in New Jersey. And so we're across the country. So it was like,
That's interesting.
Isn't it?
Yeah, because earlier we were just talking about how, like, in the earlier crushes, we were just like, oh, we're just blank because we're not giving our family ammunition
to make fun of us.
Interesting.
Absolutely. Although now that you said that, I did tell my mom about a crush I had in 5th grade. And she was not very responsive to it. She kind of just ignored it.
Yeah, she probably didn't know how to react.
She didn't know how to react. Yeah. I think it was like, oh, my baby, because I was the baby of the family. Youngest, so she was like, my baby's developing feelings for boys.
Yeah.
Little did she know, I'd been for a long time. Yeah. So, I don't know. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. What's your type? And did it change?
Oh yeah, definitely. But it definitely changed. The only thing that's really constant in my life is just like they're usually funny, they're usually
smart.
And there's just usually like this fascination. There's something fascinating about them usually. Like they're a little bit like almost mysterious, maybe because they don't really talk much also sometimes. That it's just like there's something about them that I just want to get to know. So that's always how I usually remember my crushes. So they've changed, but maybe they change because I'm getting older and they're also getting older and they're just getting more mature, and that's why I think it changed. But maybe it was just a natural progression of life. Because now that I like think about it as a whole, they're usually that type.
Is that everybody's type? Comment below. Because I'm thinking about it, and I would say that most of my crushes have those qualities as well. Although we never really like the same person.
Right?
Yeah, we never really... That's so interesting.
Yeah, we never really like... we both have thought they're cute.
Or
like,
attractive.
aesthetically, we like...
Acknowledge, like, oh yeah, that person is interesting to look at.
But like the intense crushes, we've never crisscrossed.
Yeah, never crisscrossed, thankfully.
I know, right?
Because that would be just too much. But I think my type is the same. I don't really have a type though.
Yeah, same.
Maybe that's what it is. I like them funny, smart, and
it's like the bare minimum, I guess. Like, I don't have a type. Those are just like the bare minimum. Yeah. So maybe that's the reason why it sounds similar, because again, and then I feel like that's a very common thing for most women to want. I feel like most women want someone funny.
We want to laugh and we want to be intellectually stimulated. Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
But doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
Comment below. Actually, I remember my 6th grade best friend had a crush on this guy, and I was trying to play matchmaker, and I was talking to him on AIM, which is an old
shout out
messenger program. AIM. Yep. And I was trying to... It was already known that she liked him, and I was trying to get confirmation on whether or not
reciprocated.
Yeah, whether or not he liked her back. And that's so funny.
I know.
We did not have any classes together.
Yeah.
I did not have him in any of my classes. So I never spoke to him in person. But I messaged him on AIM. And then it turned into, once we saw each other in the hallways, we would give each other a hug and say hi. But the original, friendship was formed via AIM.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So when I was talking to him about my 6th grade best friend, trying to hype her up, basically, oh, she's this, she's that, she's super funny, she's so cool, she's into great music. It seems like because on MySpace, you put the bands and everything that you like.
Yeah, that's the music very section. Common.
Yeah, you guys seem like you would get along because you're into the same things. And so it was just really trying to make him see, you guys are perfect. You should get together. And then he said who he actually had a crush on, which was this other girl that was nothing like my best friend. And I was like, oh, ew, really? She's so boring.
You're trying to really downplay it.
There's nothing exciting about that girl. And the qualities that I listed to him about my best friend and why she was awesome, he was just like, oh, well, everybody has those qualities. And I was like, how could you make her feel so general?
Yeah.
Because to me, she's my best friend. Yeah, she's my best friend. So in my eyes, she is unique.
Yeah.
She holds great value, and everybody else is just everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's not how he saw it. And
interesting.
So it is that thing of we all kind of like the same qualities, but whether or not we see it in certain people, that's where it really is differentiated. Because I'm sure the girl he actually had a crush on, I did know her. She's actually very cool.
Yeah.
So I was just saying that to
it's just a response. It's because you almost feel offended.
Yes, I was offended, and so I get it. She probably did have those same qualities too. So that's the interesting part,
What a nice response. It's who would say that?
Who?
The dude. He was just well, everyone has those qualities, because it's you're right. I think everyone tried to, there's always
that was a nice. I didn't see it as nice in that moment. I was so offended.
Not.
Yeah. But yeah.
Of course not. But it's just he's right though,
That's crazy.
I think it's usually energy. is what it is. Because it's like, I could describe
aura.
people's... Yes, it's
Watch
probably
episode 3.
that he just got attracted to that girl's aura, that girl's energy, and just the way it's like getting executed. Because I feel like most people strive to be nice, most people strive to be funny. It's just all about like execution, probably.
That's true. I did not even... Obviously, 6th grade me.
Yeah.
I wasn't computing that into the equation.
Yeah.
But that makes a lot of sense now that you put it that way.
Yeah. I think also because, like, when you're younger, you're just so unbelievably, like, loyal. There's just, like, that pack mentality where it's just like, how can you not see what I see, which is perfection?
Yes.
So you're just so hung up on that idea that you created in your mind that everything else is just, like, not computing. There's no room for it.
Definitely. That's so true. But... yeah, man. Crushes. Feelings. I think maybe I squealed like once.
Yeah.
Twice.
Yeah.
Not as much as I thought I would. Props to me.
It's going to be later on. It's saved for Never Have I Ever because it came out this week and we're going to watch it because we love these type of shows.
Oh my gosh, I know. We're just hopeless romantics. So that's just what it is.
Yeah. It's just, I just always love those like coming of age stories where it always revolves like feelings that people don't even know about, and then it's just always been there.
Maybe it's one of those things where because we felt so much shame about our feelings, especially especially when it comes to like romantic things, and having to hold it in and not say it out loud. Maybe that's why we love those movies, because we never release that energy. Whereas like maybe people who, well, I don't know, I'm just making stuff up. It's just a theory, which is probably wrong. But I don't know, because some people are not hopeless romantics.
I don't know anyone. If you're not a hopeless romantic, do you enjoy... Email me. Please let us know if you guys enjoy these types of movies, if you guys like... I don't know.
Guys always say they don't. At least some guys that I know. I'm sure there are guys who are ready and willing to admit that they like rom-coms and are hopeless romantics.
If you're a guy and you like rom-com, please let us know too.
And do your guy friends, or just like in general, do your guy friends enjoy rom-coms, and are they ready to watch them at any moment? Or, because I feel like, unfortunately, we maybe think that that's only for like girls. I don't know.
All the like male friends that I have, I feel like I've never heard them say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go watch this."
A gang of guys, going to see 10 Things I Hate About You.
Exactly. Like, I just never heard that. It's usually like, it's an activity they do with their girlfriend or something, Like, Jackie has never watched like a rom-com on his own. It's not something he'll just put on for himself without me around. Like, usually, I mean, even when I watch rom-coms, I already assume he won't be interested. Like, if he watches it, he watches it. But if not, then nah.
I think it's maybe because we shame boys for liking girl things. Historically, that's like a big theme in unfortunate circumstances for men.
Yeah.
We shame them for liking girl things, or things that are supposed to be for girls. I'm using air quotes. You can't see it because it's a podcast. But so maybe that's why they don't watch those types of movies.
Or it's not like built into their norms, it's because like I have a lot of friends that are very secure with their masculinity and stuff like that. So if they genuinely enjoy it, like they will be vocal. It's just not in their norm. And it's not something they go like, "Ew, I don't watch that." It's not built in.
Yeah.
But Jackie is, for the longest time, I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. I can't remember, but it's an Asian movie called My Sassy Girl. It's it's like, I've never seen it either, but it's like one of those, like, I think it might be a Korean drama movie where it's I think it's supposed to be made for women, you know. But he really loved it. He was just like, "Oh, you have to watch it."
Sassy girl, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, Jackie. Good for you. You know, being your most authentic self and enjoying the things you enjoy.
Yeah.
That's what this podcast is really about.
Yeah.
No shame, no guilt. Be you. Unless you're harming other people. If you're harming other people,
maybe don't.
Don't. I hate that.
Be you by yourself. Just kidding.
Be you if you're not hurting anyone. But if you are, don't be you.
Be someone else.
Yeah. But is there any last comments you want to make about crushes, first crushes, or anything?
They feel good. That's it.
I know. We'll definitely revisit this topic or a similar type of topic, as we will repeat most of the topics.
It's all we do.
But
all I can say is I can't wait till like the pandemic is really, really over, and then being exposed or being comfortable in like new environments and meeting new people. I know, like, it gives me anxiety, the thought of it, but the opportunity of having new crushes is always welcome.
How does Jackie feel about that? He doesn't care, right?
It's hard to say because again, like, you know, when you were talking about like the difference between like the crush with high school and after college, the difference for me is that I was in a committed relationship, and that's what I had to kind of learn.
Ethical dilemma, right?
Yeah, exactly. that you were having in middle school. Yeah. So that's what I was having because again, like, I didn't like, for me, it's not wrong to have these feelings form because again, it's not like it's not like I was doing it on purpose. It's not like I'm making myself have these feelings. It's just naturally developing, and really to me it's just it really depends on the actions that you do. So to me it's just like, as long as I'm loyal, as long as I'm communicating, eventually like I eventually told Jackie one of the crushes that I had.
I remember that.
And he was okay with it because again, I didn't talk about it with him like, oh my god, he's so cute. Like, it was just more like I was really struggling with the ethics of it all, of saying like, you know what, I feel like the more I can't tell you this, the more wrong it feels. So let me just like let you know and let you know like but I know that this is just like a crush. There's nothing that's gonna blossom. I'm not gonna do anything about it. So after that, we'll just move forward. I think he took it pretty well. He wasn't like butthurt about it. He was just like, okay. That's how I remember the conversation go on anyway. I don't know how he felt, but basically
he didn't talk about his feelings.
No. I think it was just more like, all right, well, like, as long as I don't think you're gonna cheat on me or anything, so I'm okay.
I love that. I think that is so important to have. You know, like, just that communication, that open line of communication where you can just be honest about, these are just feelings that I have. Yeah. And as long as you are not acting on them, that's really where it's like
the problem.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Oh man, I just thought of something and then it's gone. Because I had like 20 other thoughts that came through in that second.
So we were talking about it.
Yeah. But I do remember that situation happening with you and that crush that you had. Oh boy. You know, new people. That's so weird because, like, you know, Neil invited me to that party that is supposed to happen tonight. And I told him I'm not ready.
Never mind.
To meet new people because I never said yes. I'll think about it.
I assume that's what you said.
But he was very. I think he asked me like.
He really wanted you to go. He needed your emotional support.
Exactly, and I was like, new people. I don't know if I can do it. That's just so crazy. And then thinking about like 5 years ago. New people, yay!
I know, we were like so quick. But then again, like those were different situations. I feel like if the pandemic didn't happen, you'd probably go. You probably would have been like, fuck it, yeah, let's go. You know? So
that's true.
Think it's more so because of the pandemic than actually
the situation. Yeah. Definitely. Well, stay safe, guys. You know, that's the message too that we want to include.
And we didn't say it the whole freaking time, but that's the message.
The message of this episode is stay safe and be smart, make good choices.
Use a condom.
And yeah, so that's pretty much it for this episode, guys. If you enjoyed this topic, let us know. Yeah. Also, feel free to email us whatever you want to perfect,
especially stories of like the crushes you've had, because we love to read them.
I do, and if you want, I can email you more detailed happenings of all of the crushes and what happened with them. I could definitely do that for you because I remember them pretty vividly.
I just have to go through my files. And
yeah, if there was a happening between a crush that I had in me, I remember it like the back of my hand. So, but yeah, anyways, also if you enjoyed this topic, share it with your friends, your family, talk about it, watch this with them, or listen to this with them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, turn on your notifications. Two Perfect Podcasts on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Listen to us on Spotify. And yeah, you know the deal. You know what's up. But that's pretty much what we have for you guys today. We hope you are loving yourself, taking care of yourself, being authentically yourself, owning your sense of self. And yeah, peace out.